Hey, it's Hope Fitzgerald, spreadinfinitehope.com, and
Gary Malkin, wisdomoftheworld.com.
and together we are youawake.com.
You-awake.com.
Okay, let's stop.
No, it's fine. Let's do it. You're
Okay.
getting us as we are. This is a come as you are
raw.
party. We are raw, absolutely.
So
Because you know what? That's what being awake is all
that's
about.
right. That's right.
We don't have to be perfect,
No,
right?
for sure not.
Okay.
You know what I was just thinking about? We were just chatting, and I was thinking about you awake as a practice. It's not a once and done thing necessarily. You know, we tend to want to ricochet, or what I say, rubber band back into a numbed out state. You know, where you'd find yourself eating chips and staring at the television for a few hours. You know, that thing, and you know, look, some of those things are totally justified given the pressures of everyday life, but it can become habitual, and it can just cut us off at the knees in terms of our life force and our energy and our passion. It definitely numbs us back out. And so we've got, look, there are lots of people out there talking about you can do this, you can do that, and all this stuff, and that's fantastic. And I love that there are so many teachers offering so many techniques. Fantastic. What we have is a step-by-step program that's really not hard to do. It's something that a person could once you learn it, I mean, you could probably run through it in an hour and restore yourself back into aliveness and awakeness pretty quickly. So, and maybe it takes a little longer than that, but at least you'd have this blueprint. You'd have this way to say, you know what, I need to put down the chips and turn off the TV and get back to myself. Because life is short, friends, and getting shorter every day. So why waste any bit of it? That's my question.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. The natural tendency when something happens that isn't what we want to be happening is to shut down and not feel what it feels like to be disappointed, right? It's, well, on a more subtle and low-key level, it's called an expectation hangover. I love that. Friend of mine wrote that book.
That's a good one.
And it's, you know what I'm talking about. It's I grew up with this addiction to having things turned out a certain way, from a piece of music that I created to the day that I wanted to have with my family, and it didn't turn out anything like I wanted. And I used to have a shit fit and a pity party that didn't go the way I wanted. I really used to get attached to a picture, right? So the contraction is that suddenly you globalize it, and then you think nothing's going my way. And then you make all these belief systems, and you create neuronal pathways around feeling victimized by your life, right? So we all do this. Just the last 2 days, I've been in a state where I've forgotten, and I just numbed out. And I never forget what recently happened when I got triggered. And I was really triggered. It was at a workshop that I was presenting at. And this dear friend of mine, I was so upset I was about to leave the workshop. I was an important person in the workshop, and I was going to leave and abandon everybody, including my responsibilities. And this dear friend of mine said, well, the first step is just to feel the ouch. Feel, or the disappointment, or feel that what expectation did you have? And I was so upset, it didn't even occur to me. And I just burst into tears, and I just went, how can we move from something we're not actually experiencing? How can you do that? You can't. And this is this wonderful dynamic that we have, that we teach about, which is the distinction between being in a vicious circle, which takes no action to propel you into an upward spiral, which is the way life moves. And we'll share more about that in a future video. But in the moment I felt the ouch of what triggered me, I suddenly realized that I had a whole projection and expectation that a person that I was waiting for acknowledgement from didn't come. And I was devastated. And guess what? I must have been about 3 years old at that moment. And I didn't even know that I was expecting this from this other person. Well, that's not his job to fulfill my 3-year-old expectation. So there it was, and instantly helped me get out of the vicious cycle and into upward spiral. And this is one of the things we'll talk about, is the first step of our 4-step process is being with enough to unburden that which is contracting us. The first step is grief literacy, and that's an important component of it. So we'll talk about, we love this work, and we're going to just share, we're making a commitment to share these videos so that you can get more of a sense of how it lives in us, so that maybe you'll want to join our community and participate in our workshops and experience our products. So bottom line is, thank you for seeing this, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.